Only the world we're living in is getting smaller, and all we say is, please, at least leave us alone in our living rooms. Let me have my toaster and my TV and my steel-belted radios, and I won't say anything. Just leave us alone. Well, I'm not going to leave you alone. I want you to get mad. Hey.
Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
In a sluggish economy, inflation, recession hits the land of the free. Standing unemployment lines, blame the government for hard times. We just get by however we can. We all gotta duck when the shit hits the fan. 10 kids in a Cadillac stand in line for welfare checks. Let's all reach off the state. Gee, the money's really great. We just get by however we can. We all gotta duck when the shit hits the fan. Soup lines, free loaves of bread, 5-pound blocks of cheese, bags of groceries. Social Security has run out on you and me. We do whatever we can. Gotta duck when the shit hits the fan. Doobity-doo wop wop, say what, yeah? We just get by however we can. We all gotta duck when the shit hits the fan. Soup lines, free loaves of bread, 5-pound blocks of cheese, bags of groceries. Social Security has run out on you and me. We do whatever we can. Gotta duck when the shit hits the fan.
You're full of shit today. You're just being completely dishonest. Well, that's bullshit.
Shut up, rent-a-cop.
If we went there, we could theoretically.
Welcome to Truth Stream with Above the Rabbit Hole. Boy, are we excited for this show.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we stumbled across these guys, and I just can't help but put clips on X of Mickey and his jaw dropping and his emotions. It's been an amazing journey just to watch him so far wake up. And we thought we got to have Maddle on for the ride. He's not been in many of the clips quite yet, but so that's why we got to get to know Matt a little bit more as well. So
guys, appreciate you guys having me.
Yeah, it's an honor to have you here. Scott, it's obviously horny today. He has some antlers behind him. So guys, welcome to the show. We're both streaming the show, so it's great to be here.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much, both of you guys, for having us on the show. Matt and I have been excited for a couple days, and couldn't wait to meet you guys. And when I saw you share that first clip, I was like, "Uh-oh, this I don't know what's going to happen in the world now." But thank you so much, man. Thank you.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, part of this is as I get this to scroll across the bottom so people can find you guys. There we go. We want to delve a little bit into your backgrounds and stories, etc. I'll just let people know, when I saw you guys starting to come on the scene, it reminded me of me and Scott, except I think you and Matt, Mickey, you and Matt and I are kind of more similar at that we haven't had, I don't think, as many woo-woo experiences in our lives. And so, you know, we're 537 shows in, and I'm still trying to figure out what the hell is going on. So yeah,
it's wild, man. I mean, in this whole community, when I went to Florida, and I was telling Matt about it, when I met everybody in Jupiter, it really did have an impact on me because, you know, it's one thing to be have some ideas and to think that maybe you think a little differently than other people and you stay quiet about it, you know, and then you meet a group of people who all feel the same and they start telling you what your feelings actually are, what the things are that you thought. They actually give it specific things that you're not just wondering anymore. Like, why is this happening? They explain it. And then when you see that, I think, Matt, we've talked about that a lot, haven't we?
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's a very welcoming scene. It feels, I mean, that's been our experience so far within this movement and just the community here. It's been amazing.
Yeah. And we hope to contribute to that. You know, like, you know, you guys are welcome to go through our roster and any guests that you see, we're happy to share with you. Because I think in this, the more we can have the all part of the where we go one, we go all, it helps if we lock arms because we're in a battle right now. I had the honor last night of hanging out with General Flynn, Sheriff Mack, Sheriff Keith Swank, who's the sheriff in Pierce County, Washington. And it was all at a church in Puyallup about 4 miles from our airstreams. I mean, it was incredible that we're seeing this stuff start to happen in Washington State with, you know, Ferguson and the other girl that was living with her parents till she was 50. I don't know, the mayor of Seattle. I don't even know her name.
Right.
But it's amazing to start seeing this happen up here. But I want to start. So, you know, Matt, let's start with you. How did you? So now wait, you know, people don't know. I don't know if Scott knows this. Scott, guess which nationalities Mickey is.
Ecuadorian and Bulgarian, I think.
You were so close.
Part German Shepherd. You missed the German Shepherd.
Yeah. No, I am. I am Filipino and Botswana. No, actually, I am. I'm Irish Italian.
Hey, me too.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I'm mostly Italian, but yeah, there's some Irish in there.
I'm pretty much split. The older I get, though, I'm turning more Irish because all I do is yell at people and say everything sucks. So I think I'm turning more Irish.
Oh, that's priceless.
It's easy to get cranky. Yeah, I find myself getting that way too.
Well, I figured you get a kick out of that.
Get off my lawn.
What? Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. So, but Matt, let's delve into a little bit about your background and how you met this guy over here, and then we'll dig into Mickey's background. But please, Matt, let's start with you.
Yeah. So we actually went a long way. Mick and I, we've been trying to figure out the exact year that we met. It was probably 30 plus years ago we met.
Yeah.
And I was a radio disc jockey in Baltimore. And Mick at the time was in a band, and he was also the manager of one of the biggest rock clubs on the East Coast called Hammerjacks. And we kind of crossed paths there at the club because the radio station would do shows there, and Mick would be back there in the back room managing the club and hosting things at the club, and that's kind of how he got his start is doing comedy. I think. I mean that's really where you kind of broke your.
I mean that's where I got really comfortable doing it. I had been doing it a little bit before then. Yeah.
So that was our initial meeting, and then at some point along the way, radio 98 Rock in our hometown kind of found out about Mick and wanted him on the radio, and he was more of a guest at first, and then really became ingrained in the station, and eventually went on to hosting the #1 morning show there. I also worked at that station, so we worked together in radio for at least a decade. But never on the air together. You know, we talked about that before we started our first podcast. And, you know, we've known each other a long time. We'd interact outside in the halls, but never really on the air. So we were pleasantly surprised to see how much, you know, how well we did together on the air, the chemistry that we had on the air.
Yeah. I mean, if you want, I can continue for me how we like and take it further, but I don't want to. Cheers, Joe.
Joe, you're muted.
You're muted, Joe.
Sorry, that's right. I muted because I was checking something. So let's Mickey, if you want to, we can segue into how your perception of meeting Matt and take the ball and run with it, please.
So a little before Matt and I met, I was very young, 17 years old, started doing stand-up comedy, took to it very naturally, was good at it young, and a place gave me basically what we call vertical. Every week I was the MC, and I learned to do stand-up, and a guy came into the club one night and he owned a bar and he asked me if I'd come down. I'm 17, by the way, come to his bar. And he gave me the address and not the name of the place. And I was 17 and he asked me if I would host a Jello wrestling contest. That's how long ago this is, man. This is in the 80s for real. And,
wow.
And I was like, yeah. And I think my uncle drove me there. And when we got there, he's like, dude, this is a strip bar. And I'm like, what? He's like, it's an all nude strip bar. And I'm like, listen, I walk in thinking I'm going to be doing, a Jello thing in a bar. The door opened and there's 3 naked girls on the bar in front of me.
He thought he was getting pudding
pie.
pie.
You said girls.
Yeah. So I see the owner who had asked me to do it, and he walks up like it's nothing. And I had to just look lost. I'm 17. I probably looked 12 at the time. And I go, Jello wrestling? And he's like, yeah. And the next thing you know, these doormen pull this. This was so white trash. They pull this baby pool out of the back, and they start a hose and Jello mixing, and they're just like with brooms stirring up Jello. And I'm like, oh my God. So then he goes, well, you go in the back in the dressing room till we're ready. I thought it was like a normal dressing room, but it was the stripper dressing room. So I'm sitting in this room with 20 out of their mind lunatic naked women, and they're all looking at me and asking me a million questions and all telling me that if I make fun of them, they're going to kill me. So I'm like, oh my God. So anyway, the night went great. All I did was make fun of everybody, all the guys in the crowd. And the owner of Hammerjacks, this huge rock bar. Now, when I say huge rock bar, Guns N' Roses, Poison, Skid Row, like that's where they played.
Well, they thanked the club in their liner notes.
Yeah, I mean, Guns N' Roses thanked
a lot of
Hammerjacks.
bands.
Yeah. So anyway, at like 2019, I was brought in to host. They had a bikini this is how I started my career. They had a bikini contest every Tuesday night, and it held literally 2,000 people. I'm Matt, am I right?
Yeah.
And the owner was the host at the time, and he was kind of funny, but he had heard about me and saw me. And when I came and started doing it, it just exploded. I became the funniest guy in town, and then radio found me. And I didn't even want to do radio at first. I had no desire. And then I did, and then I came back to it, got on mornings, which is when, well, before that, I met Matt. He was doing, Matt, by the way, sold himself a little short. Matt started a thing in this town called Noise in the Basement. And the bands that Matt discovered, there are bands that have gone on to sell, when I say millions of albums, sincerely millions of albums. But Matt is like to the local, regional, really, Philly, Baltimore, DC, even a little into New York. Matt is known very, very well in the music world and incredibly, incredibly respected.
Mickey, you probably don't know this. Joe had a very similar start to his career, except it was not strippers, it was midgets, and it wasn't Jello, it was KY jelly. But it was in a kiddie pool, and it wasn't in a popular club either. I think it was in his friend's basement, but very similar stories.
I love it, man. I love it. So Matt and I both, as very, very young kids, man, we were kids when you started on the radio.
Yeah, I was 17.
Yeah, and I was a kid that started. And, I mean, here we are 40 years later, whatever it is, and we're still doing it. We're still doing what we love to do. It's just entertain people. And yeah.
Our first podcast together was more of like a comedy entertainment podcast. And it was probably similar to what you would hear on a morning show, I guess, on the radio.
Right.
But what we found is that during that podcast, we would get onto these subjects, a lot of these subjects that you guys talk about. And we loved talking about them. And then we started to go a little deep, and we said, you know what, we got to pull back because we're going to lose our audience. It's not what they're tuning into us for, but it's the stuff that we really are just, incredibly excited to talk about. And, that's why we switched formats of the show a few weeks ago and launched this new podcast.
Yeah, we saw that. And first of all, kudos to you guys. I love your bravery and willingness and openness to throw your hat in the ring. It reminded, so Scott and I have backgrounds in, filmmaking, music videos. I'm a musician myself. And what happened was, as I started really learning about what was going on, because Scott had the idea to start Truth Stream, and I was very reluctant, and that's a story I can get into later because of someone that I interviewed that wasn't around much later after the interview, but I'll get into that later. But I was a little reluctant why we threw our hat in the rings was because we heard children are being trafficked. So I basically shifted gears completely. I had been bartending, and I wanted to get out of that and get more into podcasting. But when the subject matter and COVID and everything hit, it's like it all made sense to me as to why the world is the way it is. And then when I finally got out of our own way and it said, Scott, let's do this. And then we met Lewis Herms very shortly thereafter and started speaking at Truth Tours and Unity Tours and have since spoken in Ireland, etc. But what's been great about watching you guys is your willingness to do it, because it's really empowering others and it's very relatable. And I think as you go into these rabbit holes, many viewers, and please be kind to these guys, they're willing to do this in an open forum publicly. Like that takes some cojones, guys.
Well, one of the things, like for me, even in comedy, I've been doing comedy my whole life. I've been pretty successful at it, in fact. And one of the things I love about comedy is to present things and to see people's reactions. And I've always believed that if you're being sincere, not knowing anything is fine, because it's the people. What always drove me crazy were people that really didn't know anything and acted like authorities. And it always turned me off. I thought, you know what? You're trying to teach me something. Not only am I learning something, I'm learning you don't know anything. And I just started figuring out a way to help people help me learn, which is just let me question you. If you have the answers, I don't know what you know, so let me pull it out of you. You can't dump it into me. You can't just dump it into me. I'm not going to know what any of it means. So when we started this, Matt and I we became really, and I'm saying starting this, going back in radio, we became very good at just explaining things. We're good at that. Theater of the mind. So when we talk on radio, words are everything because no one can see you. And it makes a big difference in conversation as well. And I've noticed it a lot of times in watching other shows. And this is not an insult to anyone, but it's just experience, training, different. A lot of times guys will talk on podcasts with their face. They make I'm that way. I was like that on the radio, but sometimes the words don't match it. And I think that's what confuses some people here. When you're hearing, I heard a guy speaking about Antarctica and he was so excited, but it took me like a minute to realize he was excited about something that had nothing to do with Antarctica, just because he wasn't exactly sure how to tell stories, how to present it, just kind of jumped all over the place. And Matt and I think that is truly our superpower in this movement. Other than that, we're kind of lame ducks.
Well, it's our curiosity too.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, we are both, I think, eternally curious about things and looking for new information and willing to change our minds about things. I think that's important in this movement. But it's kind of what we've always done, even before we found this community. Really, is just listen to everybody, what everybody had to say, and try to put it all together and make an educated decision about what we believe and what is the truth. And that's kind of what we are after with this podcast.
Right. Well, I want to ask you guys, what are, Matt, I'll start with you. What is your why in life? What is your why?
What is my why? I mean, I think it all would come down. You mean for this podcast in general?
Partially for the podcast, but what motivates you as a human being? Like, what do you want to bring to the world? What's the difference that if the little kid in you was standing there and could look at the world and be like, I want to do this when I grow up, your heart, your passion, what do you want to bring to the world as a human being to help other people with? And I think I see that in you guys, but I'd love to hear from you.
I think it's to bring a meaningful difference with the truth, whatever that is, to help facilitate that. I think that's, that would make me feel fulfilled inside.
Have you been that way since you were a little boy?
Yeah. And I think, when I first got into broadcasting, music is what drove me at first, just being passionate about it, the music scene and things like that. But as I've gotten older now, there are more important things for me to talk about. And that kind of is what leads me into this podcast, I think, and this subject matter.
Beautiful. Mickey?
God, I mean, why? So if I take the little boy that I remember, all I ever wanted to do, and this is sincere, all I ever wanted to do was make my mom laugh. Like my mother and grandmother laughing was my favorite sound in the world. And I learned to be funny as a kid, and I come from a very funny family. I learned sarcasm as a kid. I learned all that kind of stuff. And my grandfathers and uncles were very, very cynical, but yet sincere. And they would tell you things, and it's funny that those old Irish, Italian guys, either side of the family, they just were as rough and tough blue collar guys as you'll meet. But they're the same guys that would, if your house burned down, they'd be there the next day and help you build it and wouldn't ask for a thing. More integrity, just more love. And so that's how I grew up. And I grew up in the 80s and 90s. I watched tons of friends get, messed up on drugs, all this stuff. And I was doing comedy. I never did the drinking. I didn't do the drugs. I was not a womanizer. All I ever wanted to do, sincerely, was make people happy and then ask them questions that would help them be happier. And that's really all it's ever been. I swear to you, like even my comedy, when I think back on it, and I've done this recently, even the really, really edgy stuff, like I've done racial stuff, religious stuff, anything. I didn't avoid anything. And the heaviest stuff got the biggest laughs because it was honest, it was sincere, and it was like, it was more of a question than it was a statement. And I just learned a long time ago, if you can question things and it can be funny, but it can also be really a great opportunity. And I've learned that people learn a lot more when they're laughing than when they're yelling. And I think that's a very important thing that I hope I can bring to this movement is I know there's a lot of arguing. I know there's a lot of disagreement, and I know there's a lot of difference of opinion. But what they don't have a lot of, I see, is a lot of fun. Like it may be off, but like it's very serious stuff. I just want to have fun with it.
You're right. We want to do this in an entertaining way, hopefully,
but
as well as
respect,
informative.
With
total
respect.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. No, I think that's why that's why I related to you guys so much. I'm like, wait, here's these guys out there that are willing to explore these rabbit holes, but also, do it with a sense of humor. I mean, Scott, now what's funny is Scott and I, we knew each other in high school, not real well. He always jokes because I'm like half a year older. So he was a sophomore and I was a junior. And then he went to like 6 different high schools. He was all over the place. And then he came back to the Tacoma, Washington area. Oh,
well, hey, guess what? Guess what? I went to 5 high schools, never made it 2 years. I never went past the 10th grade. And I went to 5 high schools. That's the truth.
Oh,
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I got so excited. I don't meet a lot of fellow dropouts or whatever crazy people when it comes to high school. I'm excited, man.
Yeah. He went. He'll tell you in a second. But But we can't really remember exactly when we started hanging out again, but it was through the art scene in Tacoma, Washington, the music scene, going to different bars or art shows. And then we ended up, working in as bartenders together and working in, if they needed an actor or someone to play a gorilla, I was there for Scott and his friend named Ian. And so there's these parallels in our friendships. There's why I love we're having this conversation is because it's showcasing why I resonated with you guys so immediately. I'm like, I feel like I've known you guys my whole life already. And here we are for the first time on a show together. Yeah,
you know what's funny about that is I said this, I don't know if it was to you, Matt, but it was somebody I said recently. I said, when I talk to people lately, it's different. I think when people say, people are waking up, it's not all about Q. It's not all about UFOs. It's not all about the pyramids or what that's trafficking. It's not about one thing. It's just, I think people are just finally, the fuzz is starting to lift, and we're all just looking at this total crap show of what's been going on, and we're like, what did we just live through? What actually happened? We all know that the last, I'll say 6 to 8 years is the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life. Really, totally. 10. If you include COVID, if you go back, you just look back on it, and it's, if ever there is a WTF decade, it's 2016 to 2026. It's the most insane worldly time I have ever seen. And I do pay attention. And I've been following this stuff since my 20s, never told people, because in my day, that was weird to watch the news and know what's going on at 23 years old. But I did. So now I'm like, I watch this stuff, and I've just lately been like, I don't know what just happened, but I want to find out. I want the answers.
Yeah, there's a lot of mistrust. I mean, even among what everybody would call the normies, I think, too, are starting to realize, I mean, we can't trust the government. We can't trust any of our institutions, healthcare, big food, all these things. So I think people are starting to see that there's something going on. Nobody's being held accountable for any of these things. So I think people are starting to look for answers right now.
Well, I think we never really could trust, certainly the government, but any of these things, really, it's just great that finally people are waking up to that fact. We got really way too comfortable for way too long, and we were just pawns. I think to a significant degree we still are, but that's changing every day. I love the fact that we can have these conversations. I used to be considered just delightfully eccentric.
Sure.
Because I was always talking about this shit. I mean, I always have been. But then, in the Trump era, I became the enemy there for a minute. And but now it's like, you can have a conversation with someone you met 5 minutes ago about, the nature of nonlinear time, or, the impact of AI in a decade, or.
Well, you can't have those conversations with Matt and I yet. You can't. So don't even try.
Our heads will explode. So be gentle with us. All right?
Yeah, not with us. You're gonna have to get some really smart people, Scott, to have that conversation. But
would you say you're like, what about Bob? You're just getting onto the elevator?
I'm sorry, you both were talking. I didn't know who said what. I apologize. Scott, go ahead. I'll help you guys.
Oh no, I was just in at an event for Louis Herms in California, and it was just the most normal looking people you could ever imagine. And I'm at a table, and the conversation was blowing my mind. I mean, we're talking about 3i Atlas and Pole Shift and all the. I mean, it was everybody was going along with it because they've been studying it.
Yeah, I love that.
Podcasts are a big part of that. No one's watching the fake news anymore.
You're right. It's the advent of podcasts, of the internet, of course, social media. We're all able to talk to each other, and there's so much more information now people are, at least dipping their toes into all these different subjects.
One of the things that I found to be really rewarding about this is I have 3 kids, 22, 21, 18, and I tried my hardest to keep them off the idiot boxes as much as I could, the phones, you know, I tried. And then, but we used to play this game, and I've told the story on the show when my kids were little, called the question game. And I mean, they were like 4, 5, 6, 7. And I'd sit around the table and I'd say, okay, who was the first president? Who freed the slaves? Like basic knowledge questions, and just teaching them to learn how to learn, to love to learn. And I just think that these shows now can do that. People are so used to holding their phone to be entertained. They're sick of watching broadcast television. They want to converse. That's why these chat rooms blow up like they do. That's why people are so engaged. And what I love the most about all this is when these chat rooms explode, they talk to each other, not just us. Yeah. There's conversations going on, and it's like, I don't know, it's like a giant town hall where we get to talk about this stuff and then have other conversations going on as well. I just finally see a time where we can all peacefully discuss things. And there's, trust me, there's thousands more that don't get in the chat room that just watch and listen. And that's the beauty of it. And I love this, man. This is what's going to save us. It is.
Yeah,
it's what's going to save us.
Starved for information, I think, and for connection, and they're not getting that from traditional media.
Well, the other thing too, Joe, and you hit to this earlier, you said build this network, this community of all of us. See, if we're keeping each other honest, it's really easy to know what's true and what isn't. The networks for decades, they were all on the same team, but it was don't tell anybody anything.
Right.
Don't tell anybody anything.
Right.
Whatever angle we take, we all take it. And that's not fair, and it's not, and that's what led to all this nonsense.
I agree. You know, I just got to say this. I'm looking at the three of you guys, and everyone has something over their head. I feel like I'd have one of those hair dryers.
You need that lamp.
No,
yes.
Hold on. No, go back to where you were. I'm not going to lie. You got that.
He's the life of the party. He needs the lampshade.
No,
come on.
Look at that. That tree in the background looks like it's growing right out of the back of your skull. So
here?
What's that?
Right behind you.
A palm tree, probably. Yeah.
No, it's that. Whatever that thing is, going right up off your head.
Yeah, no, and that's been there ever since I was a kid.
Yeah.
I wanted to bring up the reason. Okay, I'll tell you the reason we found you guys. So Scott and I had the honor of going to Costa Rica with our dear friend Carol Marine Friesen, and this is she has a healing retreat center down there, and I had her comment. They're all up here, ready to go. Here it is, and she's the one that introduced me to you guys, and she's a big part of our community. And so then I went over to Rambo, and I could follow you guys and what you were doing. So our community, from meeting through Lewis Herms, who's running for the governor of California, and I want to let everybody know, if anyone is in California, this is what Lewis is about. He's running for governor of California, and his primary focuses are to help end human trafficking and censorship, because we have been so shadow banned. In fact, I'll say this: you guys have 4,000 subscribers on Rumble. We have 40-some thousand subscribers on Rumble. Yeah. We have around the same amount of people watching right now, and our channel's 3.5 years old. Right. So that's why we rely on the community so much, because there might be things that I miss, and our friends notify us about it. And it's incredible to have that, because we're not in this for the numbers, but it's like we want to, and this is so great you're sharing the show on your channel. We want to make sure people get to know who you guys are.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, there's going to be younger kids that might watch our shows, and we can hand the baton to them, and they can do their shows and get the information out there. So it's really powerful. You never know. Scott and I, we did an event in the end of March in Washington State, out in Eatonville, and it literally, there was a woman that she not that she was going to do anything to herself, but it sounded like she was ready just to end it. And she came out to our event that day, and she goes, you guys pretty much saved my life. Like, not us per se, but the fact that we had this event that she could come meet people and not feel like a lunatic. And so
that's all the stories you got in Florida, right, Mick? I mean,
my God, I'm sorry, I'm trying to.
Yeah,
some of those stories, because if you change one person's life or perspective, it's incredible. So please share some of those stories with us.
Well, when I got to Jupiter, David Becker, I don't know if you know David. David's an unbelievable guy. And he reached out to me about coming down to Jupiter, Florida. And when he told me about it through Rambo, I met him through Rambo. And he reached out to me personally and complimented my sort of honesty and how I would go into this with those guys with knowing nothing and questioning them. And when I got there, man, he could not have been more right. I met some of the most genuine, I mean, and listen, you want to talk about eccentricity. There's a lot of eccentric people, but the beauty of it all is I'm an eccentric guy. Matt's an eccentric guy. We're creators, man. We're artists. We understand that world. But the sincerity was unreal because I'm in the entertainment business. You guys dabble in it. It's the most insincere, full of shit place you will ever be in your life is the entertainment business. And Matt and I lived in it and we dominated it, so to speak, in our area. And both of us learned the whole time. It's they're selling tampons and baby bottles. That's all it ever is. That's what we're doing, man. We're selling products. So for the community to support us so that we don't have to push an agenda, we can just talk about the truth. And that's what the viewing public is really buying is the truth. Can you put a price on that? I don't think so. We saw what avoiding it does. So I believe in my heart that this is the future. People will support who they believe and who looks out for them. And it in a strange way, this is a neighborhood. Right. And we're all looking out for each other. We're all looking out for each other.
Isn't it funny that old model? I mean, they would employ dozens of writers, spend hundreds of thousands, if not millions, per episode to reach fewer people with far less substance.
No doubt.
And then you've got people like us that are just
it's insane. I mean, listen, I had an iPad. Yeah, I mean, I had a sitcom that was bought, and I got a deal. I shot the pilot, but it never went. But I went through that whole thing. Every person I met along the way, with the exception of a couple, they're just cookie cutter jerk offs that say the same thing every time. They don't know anything. They're there because they knew somebody. They have no understanding of what they're even dealing in. It's just an ego stroke, and the hottest girl wins, and the best looking guy wins. And that's all it is. That's network news. You tell me one really ugly female network news woman. Tell me
I
one.
barely know their names anymore because most of them seem like they're replaced, at least up in the Northwest, every couple weeks. I'm like, I don't know who this newscaster is.
Rosie O'Donnell.
Yeah, Rosie's the only one. But no, I mean, you guys know what I'm talking about. It is such a show.
You don't have a crush on The View? Is this what you're telling me?
Let me tell you something. The one chick, the real idiot, the attractive one. What's it?
I forget.
Sunny Hostin or whatever her name. Sunny, whatever. I don't even know. Yeah, whatever. Like sometimes those ladies speak, and I'm waiting for like the pie. You know what I mean? Like it's a gag, or you can't be serious what you're saying. Like, and I don't understand how people are. I don't understand it. How can you listen to this nonsense?
Well, you're right. The mainstream has become that, and you mentioned earlier with very little substance, and it's just quick little tidbits. It's let's do this, and then we'll go to break, and this is just long form and just people talking, and real ideas and real communication between people, and I think people are just starved for this.
Guys, I got to apologize. Rachel Maddow. I mean,
Oh, that guy's awesome.
Thank you, Rebel Life.
yeah, I just was looking over for the name to thank her, whoever that was, or guy, I don't know. But thank you so much. That's a hilarious line. But no, I mean, you guys know. I mean, you do this show, and people respond to you, and they connect personally. That's the other thing. We can talk to people personally. We're not in a 17-minute window with the Coca-Cola pack coming up. It doesn't happen here. We're talking to you, the people watching, and we're reading what you're saying. News doesn't do that.
Yeah,
News doesn't do that.
So, okay, we've talked about this plenty of times, but where else can you go, aside from podcasts, I think, or maybe radio shows, but where you can, we haven't designed what we're going to say today. So we're live and the audience is commenting, and then their comments are part of the show, and it's all unscripted. I mean, that's I don't know many newscasters that could do this.
I mean, luckily for me, it's how I've done comedy for 40 years. It's all stream of conscious. I don't write. I've never written a joke in my life.
Right.
I just walk on stage and start talking, and people stay. And I'm like, all right, well, I'll keep talking.
Right.
It's just, yeah. But it's honest. I mean, it's honest. It's entertaining. Just like these shows.
Anyone by Pfizer, as the comment.
You know, and that whole COVID thing, man, if I want to say something, between COVID and the Ukrainian war is where I validated myself. That's what did it for me. I went, I'm right. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I hadn't talked to anybody. I didn't know anything, but I would be in my car and I would say to myself out loud, you know what? Everybody I know is wrong. I hate to say it. Every person I know is wrong. And that's a very horrible feeling. First of all, when you're insane like me, I'm already insane. I know this. Then I having these feelings of like, almost like, what do I think? I'm Jesus. I know more than anyone. And I could not shake it. I could not watch these guys on television every day telling me, you got to put a mask on. And I'm like, I don't even, that doesn't even make sense in principle.
No.
Like, so.
Especially when they're contradicting themselves.
Yes. And then
say the exact opposite to you a week later.
The scariest part was watching my friends, people I loved, people I would literally die for, buying into this, and their lives changed and they're different people now. And I'm so angry that this happened because this wasn't big enough beforehand. If this would have been around pre-COVID, COVID would have been about 2.5 weeks long. I really believe that. Guys, you guys would have got Rambo and you guys would have got into that. The truth of it, it would have been out. And I'm telling you, these types of shows, not me and Matt, we're just like Johnny Carson for the rest of you guys. But you guys and these shows are what's going to truly stop these insane things from happening again. Just not being shut down and people being able to hear it.
Yeah, I used to do a sanity check. I talk about this, in our live appearances and so on. Every day I take inventory because it just seems so crazy. And then it's like, nope, Joe Biden's still president. I'm not crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's always some evidence, it's like cocaine in the White House. Remember that story? Like,
it's coke in the White House.
Yeah. Like the Kennedys didn't introduce cocaine to the White House a long time ago. I mean, come on.
I heard a lot about
buying cocaine out of a vending machine at the White House. If you know the right door to open.
Oh my goodness,
Mickey! I think I found a picture of you from a couple years back. Is that you right there?
I'm not gonna lie, man. I had some time where I really did feel like that, man. I'm like everybody I know, and then I'd run into somebody, a stranger. It was always a stranger. And I'm a talker, obviously. Like I'm in the Wawa, which is a convenience store on this side. I don't know if you guys know it. But anyway, I'm in a Wawa one day and COVID's in. I mean, it's deep into COVID. We're all wearing a dumb mask. And I'm standing in line and a guy in front of me turns around and goes, if they told us to put a watermelon on our head, 30 of these assholes would have watermelons on their heads. And I looked at this guy, I wanted to hug him because I was like, oh, thanks, man. I'm not insane. Like, and we just both started laughing and we were like, man, we don't know what's going on, but this ain't it. This is such a lie. Everybody knows this is a lie.
It's good that everybody here is doing sanity checks, because I think that's part of the problem too. There are a lot of people that are not doing sanity checks about what they think and where they're getting their information and what they believe, you know?
Yeah. 100%.
Exactly. Oh, there's a clip I'm going to play that normally it's spicy. So I want to get your guys' take on this clip. I don't think I've shared this with Scott yet. In fact, I have not retweeted this. I've only put it in the like section of our podcast. But it's yeah. Here we go. Scott, you're gonna love this one.
Son of a bitch! You better not be setting us up.
Here. Okay, this is on X, and here we go. I wasn't expecting this. Can you guys see? Let me make sure. Okay, there we go.
I can see. We can't hear it.
Here we go.
Renee Nicole Good died being a nigger lover. She died because she wanted to protect niggers who would not piss on her if she was on fire. Anybody saying now she didn't try to run them over, you're a nigger lover. Thank you. My message to white liberals is that these people want you dead regardless. It doesn't matter. Give them everything they want. Let them scam. They still hate you. They still hate white people. They hate you. You can't feel bad for these people. When you have that superiority complex, that you're a white woman saving the niggers. Oh, I have a mission. I have to save the niggers. And the funniest thing is the very people that she was out there and got shot for are making fun of her death. They're not hailing her as a hero. Renee Nicole Good died.
Dude.
So, yeah, I mean, that's not something that we can go on and say, but I mean, the girl has a point, and this is, and I think I haven't really looked at the comments, but this is the type of post that people are in a way resonating with, because you do have a black girl that's able to say this, and no one else can really say this type of comment. But how does that hit you when you guys see something like that?
Two ways. First way is this. I feel that girl. I feel that young lady's pain. Because I've done a lot of things in comedy about race, because what made me love comedy was black comedians. Were guys like Richard Pryor, Red Fox, Paul Mooney, Dick Gregory, Flip Wilson. I adored these men. And I have a major problem that if I even mention that sometimes, black people won't take me seriously. And over the years, I've thought, well, why? And then I understand it a little bit because of what she just said. White people are so condescending to black people, and they think they're doing something good by saying, oh, don't let them treat you like this, or let me talk to them for you.
It's a backhanded compliment is what it really is.
No doubt about it. And it's just, it aggravates me, man, because this whole thing can be avoided immediately, and take color, race, religion out of it and replace all those words with one word: assholes. If you're an asshole, if you are an asshole, I can't stand you. I don't care your religion, your color, your sexual preference. I don't care about any of it. Your wealth. If you're an asshole, you're an asshole. And if you're wonderful, again, I don't care about your sexual preference, your age, your race, your religion. Just be wonderful. I will love you, and whatever I have is yours, and that's life. But no, the liberals are the most racist, divisive human on earth. There's nothing that comes close to it, because they decide the teams. They tell everybody whose side everybody's on. Screw off. I mean, it's such BS. And until people start telling the truth, and there's so many good democratic thinking people. That's the other thing, that are just lost, that don't have a voice in their own party anymore. They've been told their whole lives that if they become a Republican, they're some kind of animal, or they're some kind of less thinker. Like, it's just such bullshit. And people that finally are looking at other people and going, yep, you're 100% right. That black girl was 100% right. But as a white person, if I say that, some people could say, how dare you defend that? I'm defending her. Yeah, I'm not defending anything.
Of
but
course.
Her.
She, this is dark forces are laughing at this right now, and they have succeeded with their propaganda, is the way I look at it. That's their whole MO. They want to separate people into little boxes and tell them that they're victims, and we're going to save you. And they're out there destroying themselves with this behavior and these thoughts, this thought process.
Yeah, I've been saying it for years that they make assholes in every stripe and color and form imaginable. An asshole is an asshole. So thanks for saying that, Mickey. But
yeah,
what I like about the return of overt racism that we're seeing is that comedy's back. Thank God. We used to be able to make fun of each other, and it's the truth is born out of comedy in so many instances. It's so important, but I think that what this is doing, ultimately, for us to have truth prevail and for us to have true freedom, we need to see each other as individuals. So we got to look past all of that stuff to do that, and then we can say, you're an asshole.
Hands down. Yeah. That's it. That's it. I mean. Yeah. And if you go into deeper what she said, man, when you start talking about, she said, these same people that you're fighting for will kill you. And it's 100% true. The people that they really think that they're helping hate them with a passion. And it's almost, it's wild to watch. It is wild to watch people who think they're intellectuals be so stupid. And you know why it's like this? Because they spent all their time not in the neighborhood, not playing with their friends, not doing that stuff. They spent all their time being told everything they've ever learned and didn't learn anything for themselves. And that's what happens. I mean, it's right out of the Communist Manifesto. All you got to do is give me a couple generations of your kids in school. I'll ruin the whole country. I'll be damned if they weren't right. Right. And that's what happened. We educated an entire nation that hates itself. Explain that.
Well, and we elected a whole bunch of people that, followed the rules for radicals.
Yes.
I mean, this was largely engineered, and I think people are finally starting to think for themselves. That's what we need.
I sure hope so. I feel like there's an awakening here.
I live in Baltimore City. I don't know how much you guys know about Baltimore City, but I stand out.
Okay, we're going to learn today.
and
is it a radiant smile? What is it about?
Yeah, I think that's what it is. Donald Trump called this city a shithole, and it didn't offend me because everybody in this city that loved it calls it a shithole. All the people that grew up in it. We all grew up in the city, and then we all left. We just all said, screw it, we're gone. And this is the other thing that I think gets lost in the argument so much. This is not about black and white people. It's about ideology in government. Baltimore City has been run, I think it's now 70 years under a Democratic mayor and council. 70 years. That's 7-0. And the city's gotten worse. And it's predominantly black now, full of guns, which leads into my other little theory that I think the real high level of the Democratic Party built an army. I think that's what they literally did, an army that could fight back. And that's why, if the left are so against guns, why don't they clean their own cities? They talk about, all these people with guns and the rednecks and all that. No, start right there. Or in any metropolitan area in this country. Start cleaning up there. Get rid of the 10 times more illegal guns and explain to us why you've done nothing in 70 years but allow this to get worse, allow drugs to totally finance an entire city's private life. to just let murder run wild, all of that. And then you sit there and have the audacity to blame someone that's not even involved. I have gotten to the point where I know I'm right. And I don't care. You want to call me a racist, a misogynist, anyist? I don't care. I don't care anymore because I'm not out to hurt one person. I believe the things I'm saying will actually help the people I'm trying, or actually will help the people I'm talking about.
They'll try to make you question your common sense, though, won't they?
Yeah, it's because they don't have any.
Right. I was just going to bring this up. There's a very serious post that came through.
I'm about to make your day, Joe. I'm about to make your day. Joe, do you know how tall I am?
I used to actually run a nightclub, and I have been to one of those Jello wrestlings, and we didn't have a sound guy one of the nights, and I had to run the sound for a male stripper review. So
I hosted one 40 times in my life. And let me tell you something else, ladies. You're not nice in them places. You're not polite and respectful. They're grabbing all night long. Just walk right by them. They grab you. And here's the thing. That's the big difference between men and women, too. Women will turn around if a man does that and go, how dare you? A man turns around if a woman does that and goes, please don't stop. Like, that's the huge difference.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Wow. Oh, I want to guys. So we've had the honor of having a woman that goes by the name of Bria on our show. And we discovered Bria. She was on News Treason on one
She's
of the
from PA.
Yeah. Yes. An open call.
I've talked to her.
You have?
Yes.
Okay, well, I want to share this post, and I want to get your guys' thoughts on this. I don't know if Scott has seen this yet or not. So she did a post on X, and so apparently this. Okay, I'm going to read what she said. Okay. Oh my God, look at these photos from the 6 for His Glory post. So this was at the scene, I believe, in Minnesota where the shooting happened. Look specifically at the 2 props in the front yards of the houses. In the second photo on either side of the blue house with the white trim. First off, who has a dinosaur and a shark in their front yard? But whatever. Anyway, look at them closely. The dinosaur looks like a lot like the T-Rex from Jurassic Park, right? Not only that, doesn't have a T-Rex smash the car. The characters are in the movie. Next, the shark. It is a reference to the movie Jaws. Who is the director of both Jurassic Park and Jaws? Steven Spielberg. Now, we know that he might be part of whatever, so we got that, but we're just going on what Bria's saying here. We often speculated that Spielberg has been an undercover white hat. Could be. Is this a little wink, wink, nod to his involvement in our movie? Gotta love it if it is. Another clever insertion by our scriptwriters. So that being said, here is on the right here in front of the White House. There, can you guys see the shark?
The great white shark.
Okay, that's on the right. And then here is the Jurassic
T-Rex.
I did not notice these. This is fantastic.
Right. So, well, this because Brie is amazing. We're going to have her on our show. Yeah. And obviously, we can send her. The whole thing about this, what's really cool, guys, is we can send you some of these amazing guests that we've had as well. But how does that hit you guys as we're watching this movie that you talk about with Rambo and Dave? And I think Rambo's been watching today. So thanks for being here, Rambo. Appreciate you.
So is the idea that these are Easter eggs that are in this movie? Is that where our thought is on this?
Right. Well, that maybe this whole thing was staged in a way in order to get people using their to maybe wake someone up that's never, go ahead, Mickey.
No, Joe, what you're saying is really interesting to me, and here's why. If you look at that video, the one that we saw first, from where it was shot from the street view or the sidewalk view, where all you can see is the side of the car and you're really at the back of it. You don't even notice that there's an officer around the front of that car, right? So when that video first comes out, you see somebody jump out of the way, but you have no idea. They give that a full 24-hour cycle.
First.
Yes. Outrage opens.
Yes.
Outrage is open, right? Riots on the street. Now, within 24 hours, whoa. Now that we got your attention, let me show you what really happened. And then we look at that and then we go, oh, shit, who's wrong? Where do we go from here?
And then we noticed a shark and a dinosaur.
Bingo. Then comes the shark and the dinosaur. Now, the reason I'm saying this are the Oscars are going to be coming up in about 2 months or a month and a half. Pay attention. We may have a best staged moment at the Oscars this year. And I'm not sure who's going to win. You got this one, I think qualifies. The Maduro arrest. I'm not going to say
there's 4 outfits. I mean, that might be best costume design of the year.
Man, this is genius. We need an award show within the movement.
I'm doing it right now. I'm doing it right now. Listen, this year's
if you guys want to host something like that, we're down. We can do round.
We're going to do it.
We want to make people laugh with this stuff.
This is what we'll do.
If we can only get them to show up and accept the trophies.
Dude, here's how we do it. Here's how we do it, bro.
Yeah.
I got it. We are going to do. We're claiming it. Any of you other guys that have been doing this, try to do it. That's not fair because we're coming up with this idea right now. Here's what it is. And I'm telling you, dude, it's going to be the Oscars, but we're going to use, instead of the C, it'll be a Q.
Of course.
OSQARS, right? And we'll give out Best Actor, Best Actress.
It's going to be 17 categories.
Yes, 17 categories.
Yes,
right. And here's the deal. We'll host it. But then we'll have one of these guys will come on to present an award.
Yeah.
And then the winner has to come on with all of us and give their acceptance speech.
I like it.
I'm telling you now, guys, this is thank you, Joe and Sean, for inspiring the insanity.
Something tells me Michelle Obama is going to be a nominee for many categories.
She's going to win both categories, by the way.
Male and female actress.
Yes, best male actor and female actor. Yeah, but I will say this: that chick from France is going to come in close second. We got to wait till the last minute before we find out who wins that one. And then, Barack might even be in the list. I don't know. I've heard a lot of rumors.
Oh yeah,
there's a lot of weird stuff out there about a lot of people.
Yeah, a lot of inverts. It's weird. It's weird, and Scott's had a hard time with this. Not that I haven't, but when you start wondering if this Jennifer Aniston, that you like back in the day is actually Jennifer Maniston. This is what's been challenging for me. So I was a big fan of the band U2.
I love U2.
Okay. Still love the music.
Yeah.
But then you start looking who's Bono hanging out with, the WEF, Klaus Schwab, all that stuff. We've done a show with someone that she basically stated that she was hanging out with the clone of Bono, and this was in the late 90s, early 2000s. And he was replaced, and she went into a lot of examples of things that the real Bono may have said, and that he wouldn't have done. And then the new Bono, it's almost like, okay, and this was like after Achtung Baby.
Yeah.
And it's an incredible interview. It's actually, I'll pull it up so you guys can see the cover. But my point is like, if these people are inverted, okay, so if you get to the Victoria's Secret model part, where the secret is that they're not women, and then you have Adam, the bass player from U2, who dated Naomi Campbell, who was a Victoria's Secret model. Where does this go? I mean, right now, like I'm above the rabbit hole, so I don't know. I wasn't there, but it makes you wonder.
Let me ask you guys this question: do you think it's possible? And I think a lot of artistic people, truly brilliant artists, suffer because most great artists truly are very passive people. They're not. I don't want to use the word soft. It's not the right word, but they're very, very passive. They're not aggressive, and I think that is. I mean, we see it. The left has a lot more aggressive men than the right, and I don't think that's controversial to say. And I think that a lot of artists sometimes hide the truth from themselves. in order to fit in the world they have to live in. Unless you're Ted Nugent, Rob Schneider, and you're seeing more of it. More artists are coming out and going, yeah, screw you guys. I don't care, Hollywood. That's the other thing. Hollywood's dead.
Hollywood's dead. The music industry's dead. The comedy scene literally moved from Los Angeles to Texas overnight, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's nuts.
Yeah. People are not bowing down to California anymore.
It's unreal. It really is crazy what's been happening. And when you watch it, I mean, from our standpoint, not knowing much, both of us look at each other, though, after we learn something, and we're like, I get it. Makes sense now,
Right.
I'm looking at it closer. Sorry.
Clono. I love it.
Clono. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So it's fun. It's fun to come up with different names for folks. But if people can see, if they want to see this interview that Scott and I did with Lady D, that's it's let me see what the actual
It almost looks like Boy George.
Yeah, on the left. Yeah.
Yeah, it's episode number 403 on Truth Stream. But yeah, the right is him younger, and then when Mephisto came out for the Zooropa tour, I mean, I've seen him 16 times, so it was very jarring for me to think that someone that I thought would have the best life in the world. I mean, he's singing with Pavarotti and the 360 tour and all these things. It's really hard to accept that wasn't organic in really any way. And then you start wondering who's writing the songs, and all these things go through your head. But it's a lot. So these heroes that I thought I had, I don't even know who I look up to anymore. It's like, I guess we have to be the people that we wanted. That's why I asked you guys that question. I want to be the guy that the little kid in me, thought was doing something or making a difference. So now's my chance through all this fuckery to be the guy that I feel is important, or what mattered to me as a kid. So that's my goal.
Well, Joe, one of the things that I've talked about this on stage, actually, I think the worst thing that whoever is running this shit show did was dismantle families. And we did it with money. We did it with drugs. We did it a million ways, and it was done purposefully. And that will, once you get the man out of the house, it's a lot easier to influence people because no one's there protecting them. And I don't say that as a dig on women that you can't protect your children. That's not what I mean. But if you have to do both, it's almost impossible. And I think I think what the young kids are seeing is that the generation between them, say 18 and us, they look at them like they're full of shit, or like they don't have anything. I mean, the guys in their 30s and 40s now, they'll all tell you, we can't buy a house. We can't do that. We can't do anything, and it sucks. And it's very, it's odd that I'll say it this way, very reminiscent of the late 60s, early 70s in England that the whole punk rock movement came out of. Are you trying to hug me, Sean? I can hug you when I meet you, but
Scott, no, I'm not.
Scott, I mean, I'm sorry, I said Sean.
My cord isn't charging this
Gotcha.
thing. It's about to die. I got to grab another cord, I think.
He's watching a midget wrestling show on the other channel.
Yeah, I got it. By the way, you guys you're really into these midgets, aren't you? You guys like midgets a lot.
Well, a lot of times they come up a bit short, but
do you know how tall Mick is?
Do you know
his actual height?
Do you know how tall
I am? BM? Are you a BM?
I don't know what BM means.
A borderline midget. It's 4'10".
No, okay, I just got over. I'm like 5'2", 5'3".
Shrinking every day, though.
I do a whole bit in my comedy thing about how unfair it is because, like, I would say like 5'6" and up, maybe 5'7", right in there. That's like regular guy height. You start to be accepted as a regular guy around 5'7".
Okay.
5'2", 5'3". I'm not really a midget. I'm not like a dwarf. I don't know. Like, it sucks because I can't even start an app to find people like me. You know what I mean? Because there's no name for it.
It's hard to tell right now.
5'2", 5'3".
You're really 5'2"?
Yeah. He's on a phone book right now. Remember phone book, kids?
Now I'm standing. Yeah, I'm 5'2", 5'3".
So
No,
when
what?
people call you a stand-up comic, it's hard to know because a lot of people.
And then it's like one heckle over the years that, like, soon as I first come out, somebody in the back will always yell, "Stand up!" And I'm like, "You son of a bitch!" But yeah, no, I did. It's always drove me crazy. Like, I got no special title for my height. I'm not
How
even a
about
regular guy.
You're a hobbit.
I don't like Hobbit. I thought about it. Hobbit. I don't. Is that what a Hobbit is? Like my height?
You should run for governor.
Maybe
You
I'm
know?
BM
Maybe
extra.
you're tall in that world.
You're a giant BM.
You're
That's
the
not
leader of the
an
hobbits.
people. That could be very misconstrued and very awkward. But borderline midget is what the giant part is, the BM part. So
I'll tell you a story, and you guys decide whether it's true or not.
please,
So I was doing comedy, and it was in San Francisco, and this is years ago. And by the way, the Punchline in San Francisco was one of the greatest comedy clubs in the country, and I loved San Francisco when I went. It was a cool city, man. It really was. Anyway, I do comedy one night, and a couple people are there that work there said, "Hey, you want to go hang out with us afterwards?" I'm like, "Hell yeah." So we go out, and they take me to this place. They go, "You're going to love it in here. I'm telling you. They're going to love you." And I'm like, "Okay." So they go, "Go ahead. You go." So I open the door, and when you open this door, it opens like that, and like one person at a time can go through. So none of them come in. I walk. It was the whole bar was midgets. It was the whole bar. It was a midget bar. I'm not making it up, Joe. And I walked in, and I looked around, and I was like, "What? Where am I?" And for the first time in my life, I literally walked in a room as a grown-ass man full of people and went like this. I can beat anybody's ass in this place. Like, I was the man, right? And dude, I'm telling you the funniest thing. The little ladies, I was like a god. It was incredible. Because I'm not like a regular size guy, so I'm not like intimidating to them. But
right.
I'm like a tall guy to a regular woman for the midget world, I think. I think that's what I was. I was just tall for midgets, not like giant. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I got to tell you, there's a woman named Amy who's watching our show, and she's going to be at Threadfest are you guys going to Threadfest?
Yeah, I am. Yes, we are. By the way, yes, March.
Okay. Well, she's going to be there, and she's about to pee herself right now watching this show. That's her comment. So,
that's awesome. Is she a midget?
No, she's regular height. I mean, I don't know what regular height would be.
Is she over 5'5"?
I believe so. Amy, what's your height? If you could post your height in the comments, please, that would be very.
I don't do well with women over like 5'6".
Well, we'll have an answer for you here real quickly. I'd say she's around 5'6", 5'7", maybe 5'8".
We're gonna introduce you to DeSantis's boat guy. You remember the memes? I mean,
she's 5'4". She is 5'4".
5'4". Perfect. I can give her a hug when I meet her.
A while, so that's why. We were in Ireland. We did a retreat over there, and she was great. She actually had me play so I went to Ireland and I ended up playing in a couple of the bars over there in
Are you a singer-songwriter guy?
I'm a lute player. Yeah, singer-songwriter. I'll play at the end of the show. I'll play my video "Freedom Now" that Scott and I helped put together.
Is that your theme song, by the way? Is that you?
No, that's a song that Scott picked out. We
were trying to figure out who that was.
Yeah, someone thought I redid it, but I have not.
Who is it? Who is it?
The Augustines.
The Augustines. I guess it was either
the shit hits the fan song.
Oh yeah, no, that's Circle Jerks.
Thank you.
I knew it was a
punk band.
I called it. I'm like, this is late 80s. Yeah. This is late 80s, mid 80s, late punk.
Scott tries to pick songs based on things he likes to do from the band.
Well, no, the lyrics are perfect for our times. They're just absolutely perfect.
Wow.
That's hilarious. Oh, man, this is great.
Well, we got you guys for probably another 10 minutes or so. I know. Okay. The thing is, like, I think it's great when there's shows that go really long, but it's nice to leave a little bit of a cliffhanger because I think it would be really fun to do shows more regularly with you guys.
That's Matt and I's philosophy.
For sure.
We don't want to do deep dives. We want to come on, talk an hour or two, get out, come back. I want to have friends, and not to quote Rambo, I mean the way you spell it right, buddies, people that come on just to talk about stuff.
Right.
You know, like you went into the bar and you're sitting around with your friends and you're talking, but it's organized and it's presented. And I think that's the key. And we all have our own little world we can live in. And you know, I'm just, Matt and I both, we're just blown away by everybody in this community.
Beautiful.
Yes, they're very welcoming, and we're very appreciative.
Oh, I knew right away when Carol Friesen, who has the Healing Retreat Center down in Costa Rica, said, check out Mickey. She knows me pretty well. She gets she reads people's postures and their faces. I mean, she's incredible. She's incredible.
Now she has a retreat.
A retreat center in Costa Rica, about 3.5 hours south of San Jose, the main big city in Costa Rica.
So what'd you do there?
Well, we went. So first of all, we were
rhyme with ayahuasca.
Well, we did. We weren't there long enough. We did something called Cambo.
Which is that? What's that?
Cambo. It's frog medicine, and they heat it up. You have to find someone that knows how to do the medicine.
Is it medicine they give frogs, or from the frog?
From a frog.
Got it. Okay, got it.
Scott, you're better at this. Scott can explain it better than I. Scott, are you there? Are you frozen? Oh, he looks frozen.
Uh-oh. You didn't have to lick the toad, is what you're telling us, though.
No. They take it from, I think, the underside or the back area of the frog, and then they heat it up and kind of burn it into your arm, and then you basically you throw up. Luckily, it was just throwing up for about, I don't know, 20 minutes or so, and it's a real deep detox, is what it is.
Wow.
So yeah.
Did you feel better afterwards, honestly?
I did. Oh, yeah. You get rid of a lot of bile and crap that's in. Scott, we're in the middle of talking about the Cambo. So give him a little background on what you thought of it.
Oh, it's fantastic. I highly recommend it. It's like 10 years of detox in 20 minutes. You know, it's
this is where we were. If people want to look. Heaven or the sanctuary. But
absolutely.
Is this taking you on a psychedelic journey?
This is not
No, you don't trip. You purge, and I mean, you feel high afterwards, but it's not a.
There she is. Carol said it's a treat
because of a detox, I guess.
Yeah, it's actually a kind of toad that they scrape the venom off of the back of the toad. And,
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey, let me ask you guys a question. Do you think if frogs ever got smart, they would scrape our backs and put it on their tongues? Just curious.
No, I think frogs are actually
I always wondered if that's why dogs licked us. You know, like you ever notice a dog licks you?
Oh, we taste fantastic.
Yeah, I think it's salt and resentment they're getting off of us. I don't know.
Wow.
Plenty of salt. Yeah.
Well, I mean, those you know, what's funny too is I got older and I was a punk rock kid. Matt was a metal kid, and they merged, and the music scene here was incredible. But I've always been drawn to and I just think it's kindred spirits when somebody has some sort of artistic talent, their spirits sort of align, and I think it goes into that vibration stuff that I hear about. That I've heard other people talk about, like how vibrations matter, and Tesla knew all about. I don't know shit about it, so I'm being upfront.
Like attracts like.
Yeah, like attracts like, and right. I think that's in this community. Everybody I've met, I'm just like, I kind of feel like I've known this dude for a while. Like you grew up in my neighborhood, kind of feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another thing about this podcast we're doing. I mean, you know, I think it was a good show that we had before.
Yeah.
But this has definitely been the path of least resistance for us.
And most acceptance.
In many ways.
Yeah. I mean, we had good numbers a little bit on the other show, but our show was very, very local oriented. I mean, we talked about local businesses. Our advertisers were local. And then I started watching you guys and all these things. And I'm like, this is where I want to be. These are the people I want to hang out with and talk to.
It's interesting you say that because I had my own podcast I'll still do stuff at times, but more focused on the Northwest and local politics and things like that. But you realize it wasn't as interesting, and you need more of a worldwide audience, I think, to really find a tribe that really, where you're going to get a good amount of people there that resonate with what you're doing.
And here's the big secret I don't think anybody really knows yet. This tribe is pretty much most of us. They're just not aware yet.
Yeah.
And I think that I'm hoping that what Matt and I can do is take all of this unbelievable work that you guys have done before us and those before you. And Matt and I we're communicators. That's what we really are. We're good at that. So I'm hoping I can take all the work and all the information that's out there and just sort of say to those that aren't here yet, hey, check out the pool. It's pretty warm. Yeah. It's not too deep. You can go as deep as you want, but you can start at the shallow end. It's very nice in here.
Well, I feel like I still need the little tidbits, the little bites.
You're in the baby pool.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So
I'm putting Jello mix in yours and getting some girls.
That's part of the show, is giving people little bites of things, and then send them to the people who are the genius analyzers of all this stuff. It's a real talent that you guys have to be able to take all this information and then put it together and figure the puzzle out. I mean, that's a real talent that I don't know that I have. But like Mick said, we are great communicators, and we hope to learn for our curiosity, but also to communicate the view from above the rabbit hole and send people to the real experts who are able to analyze this stuff and really communicate the deep message.
And if I could just
find those experts, I'll let you guys know. Go ahead, Mickey.
No, I just want to say one of the other things that I think is really important in this movement. I want to say this right, and I have a tendency sometimes to say it weird, but I think the relationship between men and women is amazing in this relationship, and I'm going to explain why, and I hope this comes out right. For about 30, 40 years, men have been slowly emasculated to the point where a man doesn't even know how to be a man anymore. I see a lot of young men in their early 20s that are struggling. And they don't really fit in anywhere, because being a man is not about fighting and being with a bunch of chicks. That's the last thing that being a man has ever really been about. I believe being a man is about right and wrong and making sure those around you understand those parameters. And I think men have lost their voice in society for fear of backlash and misunderstanding. So I'm hoping another thing that I can do is show young men that it is really okay and really important not to join a tribe. You're already in one. You just don't know how to talk to us. And I'm hoping that I can somehow, along with Matt and you guys, connect to younger people. Because I think really, and listen, you guys have been doing, we're all probably right about the same age. We lived through the chaos. I mean, and we saw this end part too, but these kids never saw it different. Right. They never saw men. All they've ever seen is either Tim Walz or MMA. They don't know the difference. That's one extreme or the other. And there's no balance anymore, I don't think, in manhood. And I'm hoping that, listen, I'm not perfect. I fail as a man every day. We all do. But my core principles are righteousness. Don't do that. That's wrong. Or do that. That's the right thing to do. And so I don't know where we lost that.
Yeah,
and
just truth, man. And just truth.
Yeah. And stop being afraid to tell kids they're idiots. Since when did the kids become geniuses? I mean, that's another thing. Like, I watch my friends raise their kids, and they're like, oh, he's so smart. I'm like, is he really? Well, he's trying to hump that teddy bear. Are you paying attention to him? Like, there was just no concept of what parenting was. It was like you just created these little funny things that followed you around everywhere, and you tried to make them as cute as possible, and you taught them nothing about the real world. And it's sad, and I hate it. And I think that's why we're in a lot of the places we are now, because the left went out of its way to take men away from families and to soften them up. And that's what happened.
It's so true, and it was strategic, Mickey. I mean,
Without a doubt.
they put the chemicals in the water that make the frogs gay, atrazine, microplastics, chemtrailing, so many different assaults against testosterone and so on. But feminism on the ideological end, that started with the CIA. Gloria Steinem was employed by the CIA. This was all scripted. And
I don't even understand feminism. I don't even understand feminism.
Good.
And a woman said to me one time, well, it's that we're equals. That's what feminism is. And I went, no, we're not. We're not equal at all.
Well, first wave was more like that. Do you think that? I think the first wave was, there was a need possibly at one point.
I think the first wave was needed because there are a lot, and I mean a lot, of brilliant women that are in the world. And they were never heard, and they were never given respect enough to even be listened to. That was needed. But then this idea that a woman could do anything a man could do became the new face of feminism, and it just literally destroyed. I don't care what anyone says. It destroyed the idea of
celebrating our differences,
without a doubt.
Yeah,
you guys are
family.
You're right in a lot of ways, but one of the most insidious things I think feminism did is it taught women that they were less than in some way. I think prior to that, women were celebrated. We all come out of a woman.
Absolutely.
We practically worship women. We always have. And
think about it. Men did not cuss in front of women, right? You wouldn't, in the old days, you didn't curse in front of a woman. A woman was a delicate thing that you did not.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? That is the ultimate demise of any kind of righteous society.
That's right.
When you stop doing that, and and I tell women all the time, if you had any idea how I talk to my friends, I don't think you'd want to be treated equally. And it's the truth. What we know as men, the way we talk to each other, it's different. And there's a reason for that. And I think it's biological. And I think they tried to ingrain it out of, or
not only
opposite
that,
of ingrain.
When third wave feminism really flamed up, I remember feeling like I don't think I know another man in my life who would think that way in these ways that would be what they considered overreaching for men,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I do know. I do know. I think that people over time, Joe and Scott, I think people over time thought in the beginning, maybe this is a good idea. Let's see what ladies can do with feminism. And then when you see dudes showing up in the locker room wearing a dress, and then you go, well, look, we're equal. All of a sudden, dudes start going, you know what? You're not equal around my daughter, you son of a bitch.
Right.
You're not equal around my wife. Get out of there.
Right.
And for some reason, we're the jerks. We're the problem. The grown-ass man just walked in a woman's room in a dress. And I'm the idiot. Like, I'm sorry. I go back to that meme you put up. I'm right. You're all wrong.
Right.
That's it.
Right. No, you guys are dead on. I didn't know if I was going to play this clip, but there's a pastor. He actually, since we're on the topic, because God has a way of guiding a lot of, many things in our lives. There was a pastor. His name is Dennis Cummins. Now, this was a 4-hour event last night in Puyallup, Washington. It was amazing to be there. We had Sheriff Keith Swank, constitutional sheriff that is in Pierce County. We had Sheriff Mack. I'm going to play a short clip of him in a second. But first, I'm going to play this clip. This is of the pastor, and General Flynn was there. Yeah. And this pastor came out. I didn't know what to expect. I saw him earlier in the day, and I had no idea that he was going to say this. And it's only like 4 minutes. But I went up and I shook his hand, and he handed me this book called What is a Man? And I got to share with you guys, now that we're on this exact topic, and it's okay if we go a little bit over. I'm going to share his speech because I was absolutely blown out of the water. And I am going to be putting a shorter edit of this 4 hours. Because I like to put things together, because not everybody can watch a 4-hour show, right? So here's his speech from last night. And on the stage was General Flynn after this. He was on for about an hour, I think. But anyway, here is Dennis's speech in his own church from last night. Volume.
Good evening. Tonight, I want to be the tuning fork to set the tone. A lot of people are saying, why am I hosting this event at a church? It's because we're facing an epidemic in the state of Washington. Not of illness, not of ignorance, but an epidemic of willful confusion. It's men abandoning their responsibilities, leaders surrendering their clarity, and institutions trading truth for comfort. And this confusion is no longer abstract, it's visible, it's tangible, it's tampons in the men's restrooms. It's willful, institutionalized confusion. And the result is leaders who are unwilling to say what is obvious and are afraid to affirm what is true, and they're too timid to protect the order of sanity. When responsibility is abandoned, confusion always rushes in to fill the vacuum. We're watching this in the world today, and it's unraveling at its foundations. It seems to define what a woman is, but it's because the church has forgotten what it means to be a man. The question shouldn't be asked, what is a woman? The question should be, where are the men? Pastors that have lost their testicular fortitude to proclaim the truth of God's word. There's an old saying, when good men do nothing, evil triumphs. Let me tell you something. I changed that saying because when good men do nothing, they're no longer good. They're a part of the evil. Silence is never neutral. Passivity is never considered harmless, and abdication is never virtuous. And here's the uncomfortable truth that we have to face before I pray. The greatest crisis that we're dealing with is not violent men, it's effeminate men. Let me be clear, it's not about personalities or sensitivities or temperaments. Effeminacy is about softness towards their responsibility. It's men without a backbone. It's men without the presence of leadership in their life. It's not knowing what is right. It's refusing to say what is right. It's Adam standing silent while the serpent spoke. He wasn't confused. He was not deceived. He was quiet. And in his silence, he transferred his authority to the chaos. And the pattern has not changed. When men go silent, confusion grows loud. When men refuse to lead, others fill the vacuum. When men shrink back, families are weakened, systems rot. And you know what? Masculinity is not toxic. Silence is. This is why the church matters. It's the ecclesia. The church matters, and this is why men matters. This is why leadership matters. That's why tonight matters. But when we grow silent, government grows bigger when fathers grow small. So we don't need louder rhetoric. We need men that will lead their homes, men that will lead in truth without apology, men that will not outsource the responsibility to the government. Not with rage, not with violence, but with conviction, with clarity and courage. Let us stand and pray.
Wow. Hell yeah.
And I feel like the world is starting to open up to that, and they're less afraid to speak up now, where people were silenced for the longest time. A lot of that is, you could feel it in the air that it's changing, and it's messages like that are going to help that feeling and spread throughout this country.
Absolutely. I mean, I never was one that got into church or, talking publicly about spirituality, but I think all of us in this movement are much closer to Creator than when we started. So
I can tell you this. I was a complete atheist from the time I was 22 to probably 55, 54. I started questioning things. And then last year, I've told this on other shows, so I'm not afraid to tell it. I'd literally checked myself into a mental health place. For years, I'd suffered depression. I'm bipolar. Suffered with depression, anxiety. I'm not a drug addict, never have been. Not an alcoholic, never have been. I barely drink. I do smoke pot, but that's it. And I wasn't then. And I finally got to a point where I was like, I need help. When I was in there, I just started thinking about things. And all of a sudden, I just started remembering things from when I was a kid that was comforting about Jesus, about faith, and about things. And I've really gone down that rabbit hole, by the way. I mean, really gone down it. I'm still not, I will say this. I am 1,000% believe that Jesus Christ was the greatest human being that ever lived. I'm at that point again where I'm like, the divinity is where I take deep breaths and I'm like, God, man, did it? Is he really rose from the dead? Did that? I'm still struggling there. But every word of his is an absolute blueprint for how a man should live his life. I don't know another person that can question it of what Jesus said, not churches, not other men, just Jesus. Just listen to him. I don't care who's reading it. Just listen to them words. And I kind of philosophically go, whatever about the God part, I guess. Whatever. He's right. I don't know what to do because I can't lie and say, oh, I believe and make my friends happy. I'm going to be honest. I'm struggling like hell with it and don't know if I'll ever accept it. But it's the philosophy I'm living. I can tell you that. I believe in it right here in the know and now. So that's where I'm at with it. And I think that's what's going to save manhood because it's all about responsibility and a personal check to yourself. And if you look at other faiths, no offense, they ain't that nice to ladies. You know what I mean? They're not that nice to other people either. You know, there's no message in Christianity, not the churches. There's no message in the philosophy that you're supposed to kill people. There isn't. Did man do that with that book? Yeah, that's man. The philosophy went that far because of evil, because it wasn't checked. And you got to be reminded every now and then, just what's the core principle? Do unto others. Shut up. End of argument. That's the religion. I don't care where you're looking, up, down, left, right, blue, red, black. Do unto others. Shut up. See you in heaven. That's it. And that's what men have to start understanding again. Just do unto others, man. That's it. And young men were told that you have to completely do these types of things. And if your friend decides he's a woman, you better support him instead of smacking him in the head first and going, hey, you sure about this? Or is this just for attention, man? If it's for attention, let's figure out a different way. Let me teach you how to play football. Let me show you how to play an instrument. Let me show you how to write something. Like, come on, that's what this crap is. We all searched as kids. For a while, I thought I was a dolphin. You know what I mean? Like, my parents didn't bore a hole in my head. Don't be ridiculous. Come on, man. When I hear a man speak like that, it fires me up because it's nothing but truth. And we're born with it, and it's bred out of us. And I hate it. I hate it. I'm right, you're all wrong.
I love that you resonated with it. Matt, anything you want to say on that topic?
Yeah, I mean, it's just to mirror what Mick said. I mean, it's no matter where you're walking on this, it all comes down to the golden rule. And I think you can find a seed of that in any kind of religion or philosophy that's been throughout the world. I'm feeling this great awakening that men can go back to being men again, and don't have to worry about this awful message that was put out about us for the longest time, that we're born with this original sin of being male in this country, you know?
Yeah.
It's almost like it's expected of the young kids to be shameful of where they came from.
And I don't know if you guys know this, but Matt Walsh, I'm a big fan of Matt Walsh, by the way, the documentarian. I like the stuff he did, because I thought basically
he did What is a Woman, right?
What he did, What is a Woman? Absolutely. But he's got one coming out, and it's like basically called The True History of America.
Oh.
And it literally shows you where they changed the what is that called, narrative, who did it and how. And when you watch it, all of a sudden you literally go, holy, this is all a lie. This is a lie.
Is it out, or is it the trailer that's out?
It's the trailer right now. It's the trailer.
Well, we might have to okay, let me do this. We're going to play that trailer. I want to play one more 1.5 minute clip from Sheriff Mack last night, who I interviewed last week. And then we'll play that trailer, because we should play that trailer.
Well, my heart out is 5 o'clock. So whatever you got to do, I got to run at 5.
Okay. And right now it's 2:50, right?
Yep. Yeah. So 3 your time.
4:50. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to play this from Sheriff Mack real quick. This is 1.5 minutes. And
all right.
Here we go. Just to give you guys a taste of someone else from last night. And here we go.
Just got to tell you this really quick. Out on my table, right outside the door there, I've written 7 or 8 books. I have 4 or 5 of them out on the table. But this is the most important one. There's no more important book on the face of the planet except the Bible and the Pocket Constitution. And then you should have this, a review of the Supreme Court case. It will absolutely blow you away what the Supreme Court said in this decision. It was such a miracle. And I want to make sure that you take it home with you tonight, and that you share it with other people, and especially other public officials, because this will blow you away. Guess what? In this book, Scalia wrote the decision. And in the beginning of it, he introduces the case. And guess what he calls the sheriffs who did this case? The Cleos. It's in there. It's documented. The chief law enforcement officer. It's not your AG. It is not your county commissioners. He doesn't report to them. He reports to you. And I would try to remind the Attorney General of this state. It is not against the law, and it is not improper for the sheriffs of this state to try to get pedophiles, human traffickers, sexual exploitation of children, international terrorists, and cartels out of their state.
Oh, whoops. Sorry.
Like to have been at this thing, I think.
Yeah. So I muted you guys just because the volume was a little bit quiet. Yeah. It was, the whole thing was 4 hours. And I mean, if people want to, I mean, I'll put it in the link. I'll send you guys the link so we can put it underneath. But it was incredible. And then General Flynn had a lot to say. But yeah, it was to see this happen in Washington State. I had to pick it off the floor a few times. I couldn't believe it happened.
Yeah, I bet.
No, this is you know what's wild? Like you're seeing. I think what's cool that we started the show now. You guys caused the awakening. I'm covering it. Does that make sense?
And a lot of other people, but yeah.
I mean when I say you guys, the ones before us.
Yes, of
course. The ones before us brought the
Bill Coopers, the Jordan Maxwells.
Yeah.
That's kind of how we see our role.
That's how we see our role.
Thing.
We see people waking up. We're showing up right now. Okay, guys, what are you feeling? You're waking up. What's on your mind? What's the first couple things you want to know? See, that's the thing. There's so much everyone has to learn that all we want to do is just say, what are you interested in? Here, go there. What are you interested in? Oh, you want to talk to Joe and Scott? What are you interested in? Oh, you want to talk to Rambo and Dave? What are you interested in? Oh, you want to talk to this lady? Like, that's all me and Matt want to do. And along the way, we're going to learn it all, helping people find it. I just think we're the luckiest two dudes on the planet to hit at the moment we did, to come in and be able to meet these people in a real sizable, tangible movement that's really yet to go public. That's the other thing. You think about that. This isn't really a public movement. This isn't where everybody's going to end up yet. But you know what? It's going to be called something else. But I guarantee you that what this is the original root of it. This is the seed. I'm telling you, righteousness and doing the right thing and being right with each other is going to be the new way. 1,000 years of peace coming. I just believe it. And I see it unfolding in front of my eyes. And for once, all the things I'm seeing unfold are not horrible. They're actually good. They look horrible to people that don't know. But when you understand what's happening, you start to realize, wow, this is actually good. This is good. People are starting to realize, you know what? This is what's needed. We pushed ourselves too far. We took ourselves for granted. Now it's time to correct it. We're going to try to do it as peaceful as possible, but we know humans ain't nothing peaceful about us. So why pretend?
Wow.
Right?
It's been amazing. And just one more time, I couldn't find the trailer, but let people know the name of the trailer of that movie.
It's Matt Walsh. I think it's going to be on the whatever that thing he's on. What's it? The Daily Caller or whatever. Okay. And it's and it's
find it.
Yeah, it's about American history and other stuff.
I saw Am I a Racist, that trailer, but I didn't see the other one. That's okay. But awesome, guys. Well, anything you want to say in closing, and then I'll close us out with the music video Freedom Now that I wrote, and Scott helped put the video together, and Nick Alvear, who's a genius filmmaker, the Netflix of Red Pills. But anything you guys want to close with before we say farewell here?
I mean, I just want to, echo again, we're incredibly grateful to be a part of this movement, and thank you guys for accepting us and helping us out, and hopefully we can do that for you guys in the future as well.
If I could just say to you guys, honestly, man, no jokes here at the end. I'm not gonna hit you guys at the end. Sincerely, I just love and adore the fact that you guys are doing this too, and the more shows that start to link up, I truly believe you're going to start to see it everywhere we go, because people are watching. The numbers that are on these videos, if you add them all up, they're insane. Yeah. I mean, the people are really starting to see things, and to be accepted into it is a good sign for Matt and I. And sincerely, thank you. This is I guess this is our first official other show than Rambo, right?
Yeah.
Since we've started ours. Yeah, this is our first guest appearance. So we are truly honored, man. Thank you guys so much. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
We love breaking stories. We've actually, if people want to have their minds blown, we've interviewed, and we're going to have Eric back. We've interviewed someone that was married to a reptilian, and he's sending me all kinds of videos that back up other people dealing with this stuff. And we've actually had on someone, and I recently re-released this. This was from 3 years ago. A gentleman that didn't believe what he was taking was what it was, but he's taken adrenochrome 2 times, and he time traveled. Talk about blowing our mind. Scott wasn't even aware of that.
Yeah.
Careful, my head is.
We definitely want that information. How to get that guy on, and I'd love to have you guys on our show as well.
Absolutely. Well, thank you.
Anytime.
This is what the thumbnail looks like for that interview.
Oh my God.
It's insane. So thank you guys. It's been absolutely
guys.
Absolutely. I knew we would get along really well.
Oh, this was great, man. Definitely.
Yeah, hopefully we'll have you back here soon.
Absolutely. Would love to do it. Thank you, guys.
Yep. And Rambo, thanks for having them on your show with Dave. And
always thanks to Rambo.
Yeah.
Yep. And Carol Friesen, thanks for introducing us to Mickey.
Yeah, thank you, Carol. That's really cool.
Thank you, Carol. Thank you so much. Wow, so cool. We'll see you guys soon.
All right. I'm going to just show this. This is our Linktree, it has pretty much everything on it, on here, including, sponsors, etc. But if you go down, here's the music video. It's Freedom Now. Thank you, Scott, for helping me with this. And we will close with this song. Watching the world, well, it's all just a show. Those we looked up to are not who they seem. They flash their symbols in a horrible scheme. We've been lied to about so many things. The television seeps poison as mockingbirds sing. We just want our freedom. We just want our freedom. We just want our freedom now. We just want our freedom now. Scripts of the movies show part of the plots. Under the surface lies plenty of rot. Many actors play a devious role. Made a deal with the devil, undermined his control. The leaders are blackmailed. They sold us out. Eyes and souls black as coal. Gain that clout. We just want our freedom. We just want our freedom. We just want our freedom now. We just want our freedom now. We just want our freedom. We just want our freedom. We just want our freedom now. We just want our freedom now. No longer slaves in this human race. Explore the stars and travel space. The history we learned isn't even real. It's been rewritten as part of the deal. We've lived in a psyop, our DNA dumbed down. The world's been run by the cabal of clowns. They want us divided and uninformed, our morality gone as part of the norm. We just want freedom. We just want freedom. We just want freedom now. We just want freedom now. We just want freedom. We just want freedom. We just want freedom now. We just want freedom now. So raise your mind and join the fight. Unveil the truth from darkness to light. Where we go one. Where we go one. We go all. We go all. Where we go one. Where we go one. We go all.
That was cool.
Leave
Love
studio.
the song.
Red button at the bottom.